Good morning, friends and family, and welcome back to another edition of Coffee Conversations with Stephan, Koffie Klets with Stephan. And it's always good to spend some time with you in the mornings. This morning, I want to tell you a little bit of a story about myself. I remember when I was still a teenager, I used to keep grudges. I kept a lot of grudges. I'm talking real grudges. I was mean. I didn't know how to forgive. Neither did I have the willingness to do so. If someone did me wrong, they were supposed to pay for it. I was a stranger to God back then. I've never been touched by the Holy Spirit at that stage, the transforming power of the Holy Spirit. In actual fact, any talk about God, and I remember some people, the Zeemans, that used to tell me about Jesus, it actually had a shattering effect in me. You see, I was my own boss. I governed my own little life. And I also used to tremble in my anger. I had a lot of anger. With grudges and resentments came anger, and sometimes to the point of shedding tears against my parents, against school, my teachers, the army, the country, everything, government. But then the Lord molded me. Then the Lord touched me, and praise Him. I must say, He found me. And what you see today is totally different person. It's a total transformation that happened because He changed me. And now I can forgive, and I do forgive. And I can associate with everybody and whatever creed and whatever race or anything in life, and without any problem at all. It is now very difficult for anybody to make me really angry. And if I do become angry, which I do, it will be for only a brief moment. But it's not my power. I want to say it's not my power. It's not my genius. It's not that I'm a smart guy, a good guy, or anything like that. That was all His work. It's simply because He touched me. He changed me. And He continuously changes me. As I submit myself, He continuously changes me. And I think the key this morning is that I give Him room to do so. And you need to give God room to change you. Isaiah chapter 64, verse 8. The prophet Isaiah declares, he says, "But now, O Lord, you are my Father. We are the clay and you are the potter. We are the work of your hands." In Afrikaans it says, "U is ons Vader. Here, ons is die klei en U het ons gevorm. Ons is almal die werk van die hande." And this is what I've learned from my experience. God will mold you only to the extent that you permit Him to do. To the extent to which you are flexible in His hand. It's a very important thing. God cannot and will not mold clay parts from dry, unmoldable clay. No potter, in actual fact, that I know can do that. If you are a Christian this morning, the power to forgive is already within you. Victory over anger has already been deposited in you. But the deciding decision this morning, or the deciding factor, the deciding question this morning is, are you willing to forgive? Are you willing to let go of bitterness and resentment and anger? Are you willing? Are you willing to neutralize that anger this morning? It's one thing to be holding a gun and a total different thing to be willing to fire a shot from the gun, even if the ability to do so is assured. It's just something I need you to remember this morning. If your will is subject to God's will, then what you need to say, if it's not, actual fact, I want to say it that way, then you need to say, "Lord, I'm willing. I submit. I change. In the end, it is entirely up to you. It's a personal decision and a personal step you need to take this morning. It's not your parents, it's not your school, it's not your teachers, it's nobody's. It's not my decision to change you. Decision is entirely up to you. And remember this little line. Willingness and surrender from the depth of your heart is the key to unlocking the life and character that you long for. Willingness and surrender. Those two things. Think about these things during your quiet moments that you have during lockdown, today and the weeks to come. I want to bless you, and I want to say that you must have a fantastic, fantastic Friday, and willingness and surrender. That's what the Lord longs for. And I want to say, yes, you can change. People have asked me, Pastor, Stephan, friend, can I change? And I want to say, yes, you can change. Bless you.